In steps of New York Public Library, demonstrators shook flags and called for a ceasefire during war of Israel-Hamas. Thousands of Palestinian protesters who wanted a ceasefire during Israeli-Hamas war closed the traffic midtown Manhattan on Thursday night and marked one of biggest actions in New York recent weeks. As pro-Israeli pro-Palestinian protests anger fears about anger on war, anti-Semitic anti-Muslim prejudice increased. Last month, the streets campuses of city became a daily event. Other campus conflicts were sometimes broken with the reaction of social media, sometimes with an angry students. The march in Midtown closed sections of Fifth Avenue before returning to the 34th Street and evening traffic. Partners shook the Palestinian flags and passing under the Christmas lights that had already been stuck in a drum and Oscar Palestine. Sam Cribben said, "I think there is a need for real solidarity right now," he said with a group of friends as he walked towards the 8th Street along the West 34th Street. Some high school students gathered in Bryant Park for a pro-Palestinian rally. The protest of the day began as a student strike. The small high school groups left their buildings noon and participated in a rally that started at 1500 Bryant Park. A group of pro-Israeli protesters wore shirts that said, "Bring them home," which were taken during the Hamas attack and referring to 240 hostages in Gaza. During campus protest, student at low steps shouted a blasphemy against the Jews and created turmoil from students around him. The discussions Israeli-Hamas war have increased tensions on university campuses in recent weeks. Because the discussions student groups and captured campus life. 31-year-old Schumann said, "If we're lucky, we take a sentence in the emails of the 2 paragraphs. They will not use the word Palestine." Bryant Park rally went for a walk on streets. But when crowd reached City University campus of New York campus on 5th Street, "I want to show solidarity with other students standing very bravely to defend high school students and Gaza people," John said. 19-year-old Luis Cruz, who traveled from Staten Island to Bryant Park, said he was pleased to see the students in the crowd. "I always think that a younger generation is mostly with people who are oppressed instead of cruel," he said. As protest moved towards 8th Street Times Square, a group of journalists and writers stood in front of New York Times, where Times met in lobby to demand ceasefire call. Troy Clausen, Nate Schweber, Lisette Cruz and Aaron Nolan contributed to reporting.